Hi, welcome back. I'm Christina with PLA and Chill, and I wanted to give you an update on my first week of 3D printing. So here you can see I've printed a variety of items. I started with the boat that we saw. This is programmed into the printer itself, so I printed that directly here. But then I printed this cute jewelry holder catch-all. I gave it to my daughter. She's using it for some of her jewelry now. I experimented with changing out the filament, so it's really easy on the A1 Mini to change out the filament. There's an unload and load feature that you have on there, so I was able to unload the pink and then load the green, in which I was able to print this cute cat and lotus flower, and it has one of the tea lights in the middle, so it looks like it's warming its paws. Then I switched out the filament to this beautiful cookie CAD filament here. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. This is a phone stand that I printed. It's actually created to put one of the MagSafe chargers here, which is great. But I have a pop socket on my phone, and so I can't use regular phone stands. But this one works great because I'm able to put my phone in there and it doesn't wobble around like some of the other phone stands do. So some things that happened during this first week that if you are thinking about getting into printing, or if you bought a printer and you're experiencing these things, this might just save you some headache in the future. So the first thing is I noticed that when I was printing, I would come upstairs and I would have all of this extruded filament, and it would just be all over the table. And so this is lovingly referred to as poop. And so you can print what are called poop buckets. And so basically it sits on the side of the printer here, and when it extrudes the filament, it just sweeps it right into this bucket. So that way it's not all over the table. So if you, again, are going to be buying a printer, I would recommend after you're doing your first test print of the boat or whatever you decide to do, go ahead and print yourself a poop bucket and save the trouble on having a bunch of poop everywhere. And again, just love that they call it poop. The other thing that I printed was these filament clips. So when you take the filament off, the string is just loose. And if you let it get too loosey-goosey, then you might end up getting your filament tangled. You have the option to run it through some of these little holes here, but that's kind of a pain. So instead, and see, I'm already getting it tangled. So instead, you can print one of these clips. You clip it to the side of your filament reel, and then you can attach the filament there, and it holds your filament in place. So that about wraps it up for my first week in printing and just some of the things that I found. Again, my recommendation, print yourself a poop bucket, print yourself some of these filament holders. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, where did I get these prints from? So like I said, the boat is already programmed into the printer, and I was able to print that directly from the Bambu printer. Everything else I printed from the Bambu app. So when you set up your printer, you're going to download the Bambu Handy app, and you're going to pair your printer with that app. What that allows you to do is it allows you to print directly from your phone. So you can go into the app, you can search for whatever it is you want to print, make sure all the settings are good, and then print it, and it will send it directly to your printer. So you can print from your couch, you can print from the dinner table, from the bathroom, whatever you want. So I did a lot of my printing from the couch, and then I would just come up and check on it. Now, some things that you want to be aware of is there are different types of filament, which I didn't know in the beginning. I knew there was PLA, which is what this pink one is. This is pink PLA. But then when I switched over to the green, this is actually a silk PLA. That is kind of my next step, is to figure out all the different types of filaments out there and to see what people use for different things. Like, why do you need to change the filament? What is the benefit of changing from a PLA to a PETG, things like that. The other thing that I have not done is print in 2 colors. So the A1 Mini only holds 1 color right now. So if you print something with multiple colors, you have to actually stop the print, unload the filament, and then load in your new color. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that next. So that about wraps it up for my first week in my 3D printing journey. I'll keep you posted on what I do next. If you like what you're seeing, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and you can also visit me on Instagram. My handle is @PLA&chill. Thanks again for sticking around with me, and we will see you next time on PLA and Chill. Happy printing!